This is big breaking news coming in from the state of West Bengal. In his very first cabinet meeting, Suvendu Adhikari, the new chief minister of West Bengal, has taken several major decisions, including rolling out of Ayushman Bharat and implementing all pending central schemes in the state. The cabinet has also approved an immediate implementation of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, central training for IAS and IPS officers, and a 5-year extension for state government jobs. Amongst other key decisions, the government has also announced support for families of 321 BJP workers who were killed in political violence, and very importantly has cleared the process for BSF border fencing with land transfer being made within 45 days.
পশ্চিমবঙ্গের সুরক্ষার প্রশ্ন এবং যেভাবে জনবিন্যাস বদলে গেছে, আজকে আমরা প্রথম দিনই আমরা কেন্দ্রীয় স্বরাষ্ট্র দপ্তর তথা বিএসএফ এর সীমান্ত সুরক্ষিত করার জন্য জমি ট্রান্সফার প্রক্রিয়া আমরা আজকে অনুমোদন দিলাম এবং আজ থেকেই ল্যান্ড ট্রান্সফার প্রক্রিয়া শুরু হবে। ভূমি ও রাজস্ব সচিব তাকে এবং মুখ্য সচিবকে দায়িত্ব দেওয়া হলো ৪৫ দিনের মধ্যে বিএসএফ এর প্রয়োজনীয় জমি হস্তান্তর সম্পূর্ণ করতে হবে, যা আমাদের কেন্দ্রীয় স্বরাষ্ট্রমন্ত্রী নির্বাচনের আগেই বলেছিলেন। এই কাজটা আজকে প্রথম ক্যাবিনেটে আমরা করলাম।
Let me go straight across to my colleague Rajesh, tracking all developments in West Bengal. Rajesh, the big promise in the BJP manifesto was the border fencing and the fact that land will immediately be transferred to the BSF for this border fencing. So that order, it seems, has now been issued.
Such a bold decision taken by new Chief Minister of West Bengal, Suvendu Adhikari, and we should remember that that was a clear direction passed by Kolkata High Court a few months back. The Honorable Justice of Kolkata High Court directed the previous government to hand over all those required land to Border Security Force by 31st of March to protect the borders, to complete the fencing work which was pending along the India-Bangladesh border since long time. But we have seen that required land was not handed over to BSF by the deadline which was given by Kolkata High Court, which was 31st March. And since then, BJP was alleging that just because of this negligence of this the previous government, the border was not protected, and as a result, infiltration was going on with the support of then ruling party Trinamool Congress. That was the allegation of Bharatiya Janata Party. After forming the cabinet, from this first cabinet meeting, Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, Suvendu Adhikari, has taken that decision that the land handover process will begin immediately today, and the process will be completed within 45 days. Okay. The Chief Secretary of West Bengal has been instructed by the Honorable Chief Minister to complete this process within 45 days from now. Okay. Back to you.
Thank you, Rajesh. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Suvendu Adhikari hitting the ground running, as it were. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, a full-blown political war has broken out after Prime Minister Modi made a pitch for austerity measures. As the Strait of Hormuz remains shut for a 76th day, the Prime Minister has asked all citizens to use diesel and petrol sparingly, cut down on cooking oil consumption, and opt for public transport or carpooling wherever possible and whenever possible. The Prime Minister has also urged people to consider electric vehicles, work from home where feasible, save foreign exchange, postpone traveling abroad, and refrain from buying gold for the next 1 year. Now, these measures, the Prime Minister says, are vital for managing the economic challenges posed by rising energy costs and the uncertainty that has been created by the West Asia conflict. However, ladies and gentlemen, the fact is that the opposition is not taking this very kindly. The opposition has certain things to say. They are saying while the Prime Minister is making an appeal, say, for example, of cutting down on foreign tours, or at least Indians not going abroad for the next 6 months to 8 months, his own foreign tours have not been scrapped. Also, they are saying while the Prime Minister is asking citizens to be conscious about their fuel consumption, Over the last 2 months, he has traveled extensively to campaign in election-bound states. The Prime Minister's appeal has sparked sharp reaction from the opposition. Lok Sabha's leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, has accused the government of asking the public to make sacrifices while failing to take responsibility himself. Rahul says that this appeal is evidence of the government's failure and a deliberate attempt to shift the burden onto people. He's calling Prime Minister Modi a compromised Prime Minister. Let me go straight across to Congress MP Karti Chidambaram, who is joining us on the broadcast. Karti, these are desperate times, right? There is a war ongoing. The Strait of Hormuz has been shut for the last 76 days. This is where most of our fuel comes from. If the Prime Minister is asking citizens to be conscious about it, what is the problem? Why criticize?
See, this is a rather a dramatic appeal, if not a directive, by the Prime Minister of India. He is suggesting that people go back to work from home. Work from home has many consequences. And then he is suggesting that people shouldn't use private transport and must only use public transport. Further, he is suggesting that you must cut down on cooking oil. Then he is saying that you move to natural farming as opposed to pesticides. I mean, that can be left aside as a well-meaning advisory. Then he is suggesting that you must adapt Swadeshi products and negate imported foreign goods. And then he's saying don't travel abroad. All of this has many consequences. I mean, if everybody works from home, I mean, you know, businesses which thrive around busy workplaces will have no business. So what that economic fallout, has the government estimating that? And further, if you're not going to use public transport and only use not going to use private transport or only public transport, is the public transport system adequate to move everybody around? And then further saying that cut down on cooking oil. Is there other methods in which people can cook? And then he's saying don't buy gold. I mean, he's saying buying gold is the go-to safety net asset for the average Indian. He's saying that. And then he's saying adopt Swadeshi products. If every other country decides to do the same, what will happen to Indian exports? Then what happens to all the brands which have invested in India? Then he's saying don't travel abroad. If Indians don't travel abroad, what if other countries say don't travel to India? I mean, unless we are in some sort of a very drastic and dramatic situation the country is facing, which the Prime Minister has not taken us into confidence, why is he giving these kind of very, very drastic appeals, directives, whatever you might call them? So, what is the situation we are facing? Yes, there is a war in the Middle East. Yes, the Straits of Hormuz are constricted. We are not getting free passage of oil tankers. Is that the reason he's giving this, or is there something much more starker and graver that he's not telling us? And then we have signed, or rather we have attempted to sign a trade deal with America where we have given up our right to buy oil from Iran and the Russian Republic, so which were our trusted allies. So what has prompted the Prime Minister to say this? If you're going to say this, shouldn't you give us a little bit of a background on why you're saying this? What are the consequences of if this advisory is followed? Then what are the steps the government is going to take? So just giving home lease, which is obviously shocking every one of us, there must be some background to it. And we have not got no background or context to why he's saying these things.
Mr. Chidambaram, the background and the context are, of course, the ongoing war in the Middle East. And it's not like, India is the first country that is looking at austerity measures or measures to save fuel. Other countries are doing it as well across the world.
Which other country has
I
given
can tell
such
you,
kind of
Indonesia, Myanmar, Australia.
Which country has said that, do not invest in your most...
I can tell you.
Give me a name of a country which has gone back to work from home.
Indonesia, Myanmar, Pakistan, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Peru, Bangladesh.
So we are in the same basket as Myanmar and Pakistan now. Is that the benchmark for India? The fourth largest or third largest economy, the largest population in the world, with a country which wants to be a superpower, is in the same basket as Myanmar and Pakistan now. And then you're telling Indians not to invest in their most trusted asset class. For the average Indian, particularly rural Indians, Particularly women, they are the most trusted asset class is gold. Yes, I understand we are the largest importer of gold. We can make, we can make very strong arguments and economic arguments why that won't work. But that will shake the confidence of the people. That will shake the economic fiber of the average Indian. If you say do not invest in gold, then you are saying you are giving, don't use cooking oil. So is there an alternative you are offering? Then you are saying do not buy foreign goods, don't import anything. I mean, does India, if all other countries take that position, what happens to Indian exports? Then you are suggesting Indians shouldn't travel abroad. What happens to the travel industry? What happens to the airline industry? Is it okay for us to travel domestically? If you have to, what is the logic of saying don't travel internationally? Is it because of only foreign exchange or because you don't want to use aviation fuel? If that is the case, what happens to the airline industry in India? What are the consequences? What will happen if everybody follows these appeals of the Prime Minister? What will be the fallout? What will be the economic impact? I mean, has the government calculated all that? They always do things without having any kind of analysis of what will happen. Demonetization was a huge disaster. The lockdown the unplanned lockdown was a disaster. And are we moving towards that? So shouldn't the government take the country into confidence? Shouldn't they call an all-party meeting at the least?
Okay.
And if not, call Parliament. Parliament must be convened and said, this is what we are facing. This is the problem. We don't have money. We can't do these things. Why can't they tell us that? Why? This is only going to create panic.
But this is so far just a request, not a directive. Anyhow, the opposition also, Mr. Chidambaram, has been saying that now wait and watch, fuel prices will increase. The government was waiting till the elections get over. Now that elections are over, fuel prices will increase. The fuel prices have to increase, right, Mr. Chidambaram? The fact is that global fuel prices have increased. How can you insulate India from it? Look at the Americans. Before the war, they were paying $3 per gallon. Now they are paying $4.4 per gallon.
I am not suggesting anything of that. I mean, obviously, we don't control the price of crude oil. All I'm saying is that we should have had alternative supply chains so that we are not constricted by the events which are happening around the Straits of Hormuz. That's all I'm saying. I'm not suggesting that India has in any way can determine the price of crude oil in the world. That's not something in our control. I understand all that. I'm not going to criticize the government because of the crude oil price hike globally. But the government could have easily developed other supply chains. Why did the government agree to America to say that we will not buy oil from Russia? We have not even signed that trade deal. That trade deal, which was announced, which said that we are reducing tariff of India, is still not signed. It's still not signed and sealed. It is only a social media post. For that, we even had a celebration in India. For where is it being signed? Has it been signed? Have the terms of those trade deal been made public? Nothing. In the negotiating teams, I don't even know. There were always reports that some negotiating teams went to America. What happened to those negotiations? What has been the outcome of those negotiations? We don't know anything. So this is a government which operates in absolute secrecy and opacity without any kind of transparency or taking the people, political parties, parliament into confidence. Okay. This is their style. That is why when the Prime Minister comes up with these kind of directives, we have to react and say, what's going on?
Okay, but the fact is that the government of India has diversified its crude oil and LPG imports to almost 40 countries now. So that has already happened. But again, this is just a directive so far. It is not something that has been mandated under law, but we'll see how the story progresses. Mr. Karti Chidambaram, thank you very much for joining us with your point of view. Lots of reactions coming in. Let's listen into what the opposition is saying and how the BJP is defending what the Prime Minister has said.
5 राज्यों का चुनाव जब तक हो रहा था तब तक आपका बोझ उठा लिया उन्होंने। अब वो कह रहे हैं तेल का इस्तेमाल कम कीजिए, पेट्रोल डीजल का इस्तेमाल कम कीजिए, गैस का इस्तेमाल कम कीजिए, सोना ना खरीदिए, 1 साल तक सोना ही ना खरीदिए, कोई भी शादी हो फंक्शन हो ना खरीदिए। आप महंगाई में रहिए, देशभक्ति है। आप सोना ना खरीदिए, देशभक्ति है। आप विदेशों की यात्रा ना कीजिए, देशभक्ति है। सब कुछ देशभक्ति है। लेकिन मोदी जी बड़ी बड़ी रैलियां करेंगे।
प्रधानमंत्री और पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने देश को बर्बाद कर दिया, अर्थव्यवस्था को बर्बाद कर दिया। देश हो दुनिया हो, प्रधानमंत्री को सरकार चलानी नहीं आती, प्रधानमंत्री ने अपनी असफलता स्वीकार कर ली। देश और देशवासी एक बड़े संकट की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं। अगर हम खरीदारी नहीं करेंगे तो उसके बाद फिर देश में व्यापारिक डिप्रेशन आएगा, आर्थिक डिप्रेशन आएगा और देश की जनता बर्बाद होगी। प्रधानमंत्री जी का एक कदम स्पष्ट कर रहा है कि देश बर्बादी की ओर जा रहा है।
Why did they stop purchasing fuel, crude oil from Russia is the question. They do something for others' sake, not for the country. Under pressure from Trump, they have stopped purchase of crude oil from Russia. That is the reason for this crisis. So they make a mistake, but for which they are punishing the people. They want the people to work from their home. How can everybody work from home?
Our government failed miserably in controlling the situation. The Honorable Prime Minister is advising certain austerity measures. It is a clear indicator of the crisis which we are facing, and the economy is in crisis. This is a confession by the Prime Minister of this country. The government failed on all fronts, and we can expect fuel hike in the coming days. LPG prices are likely to be hiked.
Since the war is now still going on, and yesterday's developments, we all know that truce is still far away, we as citizens, as our Prime Minister has asked all of us to, can reduce our expenditure on everything that requires foreign exchange to be spent. And in our lives, in our own ways of working, we can identify whatever we can do to preserve the foreign exchange. Simultaneously, we must also earn the foreign exchange more and more. Both things have to go in parallel.
राहुल गांधी जो प्रधानमंत्री पर कटाक्ष किए हैं, मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, 1962 में चाइना का युद्ध हुआ था। उस समय लोगों से सोना मांगा गया, हमारी बहु बेटियों ने मंगलसूत्र तक दिया दान। क्या राहुल गांधी बताएं कि नेहरू एक फेल्योर प्रधानमंत्री थे? आज की जरूरत है कि हम विदेशी मुद्रा को बचाएं, क्योंकि हमारे पास न तेल है न गैस है अपना। यही तो अपील की है। सोना नहीं खरीदें, विदेश में जाके शादी ना करें, विदेशी मुद्रा को बचाएं। यही भारत की ताकत है। जब जब भारत में किसी तरह का संकट आया है, तब तब भारत के लोग भारत के साथ खड़ा हुआ है राहुल गांधी। ये इतिहास साक्षी है। आपको अगर ज्ञान नहीं है, ज्ञान अर्जित करें।
आज ही हमने देखा पाकिस्तान में 450 रुपए प्रति लीटर ये भाव उसका हुआ है। फिर भी हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बड़े पैमाने पर अपने सप्लाई को अफेक्ट नहीं होने दिया। हमको तेल गैस सब मिल रहा है, लेकिन अगर हम लोग इस तकलीफ को समझेंगे नहीं और इसका इस्तेमाल अगर ठीक ढंग से नहीं करेंगे, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हमको भी किल्लत का सामना करना पड़ेगा। इसलिए प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कहा है, सारे देशवासी उसके ऊपर अमल करें।
Moving on, a week after sweeping Kerala with a massive mandate, the Congress still is to decide on a chief ministerial face. What should have been a victory lap has now turned into a power struggle which is playing out in full public view. The Congress-led UDF stormed to victory with 102 seats in the 140-member assembly. But behind the celebrations, a silent tug of war has paralyzed the party's decision-making. Delhi remains locked in marathon consultations, factional lobbying is intensifying, and the leadership vacuum is now threatening to overshadow one of the Congress's biggest electoral victories in recent years. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has sharpened the attack, accusing the Congress of betraying its own leaders and being consumed by internal power battles instead of governance. Drawing parallels with Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Karnataka, the Prime Minister said the Congress repeatedly makes promises to its own leaders and then stabs them in the back. He claimed Keralam is now witnessing the same pattern, with the party unable to decide who will lead the government despite a landslide mandate.
जनता की समस्याएं सुलझाने के बजाय यहां की सरकार का ज्यादातर समय आपस के झगड़े सुलझाने में लग रहा है। ये तय नहीं हो पाता है कि ये मुख्यमंत्री कितने दिन रहेंगे। ये तय नहीं हो पाता कि दूसरे को मौका मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा, लटकाए रखा है। सिस्टम केरल के लिए चुप है, नेता नहीं तर्क पा रहे और अपने पार्टी के नेताओं को भी वादे करना और फिर पीठ में छुरा भोंकना। छत्तीसगढ़ में वही किया, राजस्थान में वही किया, कर्नाटका में अभी भी वो खेल चल रहा है। अब केरला की बारी है।
Let me go straight across to Niyamika, who is joining us on the broadcast. Niyamika, what is the delay? We understand that there are 3 names in contention. All 3 have been interviewed, I believe. What is taking the quote-unquote high command to come to a decision?
Well, till now, there is no consensus which is being formed if we talk about this CM race for the state of Kerala is concerned, because we have seen that how the 3 contenders, all the 3 are quite confident for the support which they are getting from their respective camps. But on the other side, we have also seen that how when the observers held a discussion with the MLAs, with the elected MLAs, majority of the MLAs are in support of Mr. K.C. Venugopal. But soon after that, if you remember, then a picture had gotten leaked when Mukul Vasnik was leaving from that particular venue where this CLP meeting had taken place, and after that picture getting leaked on social media, there is a backlash which is being seen on the grounds from the state of Kerala itself. The people there are not really happy with the way in which this entire exercise was being conducted, and in fact those MLAs whose name was actually being mentioned in that particular list, their reception and their respective constituencies have also got delayed because of the way in which the protests, the voices are coming in from the common man from there on the ground.
Give me a moment here, because there's breaking news now coming in. It seems Priyanka Gandhi has spoken to Mallikarjun Kharge and extended her support to VD Satheesan. Sources are saying that Priyanka Gandhi has also conveyed what the situation on the ground is, essentially saying that as far as Kerala's people are concerned and Congress workers are concerned, they support VD Satheesan and not K.C. Venugopal. Let me go straight across to Arpita, who is joining us on the broadcast. Arpita, of course, Priyanka Gandhi is an MP from Wayanad. She does have a handle on what the ground sentiment is. But again, I want to ask you, what is the hold-up? All right, Priyanka Gandhi is backing VD Satheesan. Who is backing K.C. Venugopal, and is anyone backing Ramesh Chennithala?
Well, like Niyamika said, most of the MLAs, when asked by the observers, they have given support to K.C. Venugopal. But what sources are now suggesting is that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, on the other hand, has supported VD Satheesan. Like you said, she is an MP from Wayanad. Now, remember, Wayanad is a place where Priyanka has a lot of support from the Muslim League. And time and again, Muslim League has made it clear that their support is for VD Satheesan, because they believe that UDF's victory is mainly because of VD Satheesan's work doing in the last 5 years. Even as a leader of opposition, he has been very strong in the assembly. He has been putting out his opinions very strong. The Muslim League time and again has mentioned that they are with VD Satheesan. In fact, when observers also asked Muslim League about their opinion or about their preference, all of the alliance, including Muslim League, have extended their support to VD Satheesan. So now what sources are suggesting is that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Keeping that in mind, because Wayanad has a lot of Muslim League influence, she doesn't want to upset Muslim League, and also considering the situation on ground, she is an MP from Wayanad and she knows what are the sentiments of people, because of which now she has given support to V.D. Satishan. She has clearly told the High Command that on ground people want V.D. Satishan, and also the alliance partners are in favor of him. So that is why she also has suggested that V.D. Satishan should be made the Chief Minister of Keralam.
Okay, Arpita, thank you very much for joining us with that. Fact is, 4th of May is when the results were announced. 4th of May is when the Congress won the state of Kerala. Today is the 11th. It has been 6 days. The Congress still struggling to pick a chief minister, while chief ministers in other states have already been sworn in. Like in Tamil Nadu, despite all the circus that played out, like in Assam, and of course like in West Bengal as well. This obviously has opened up the Congress party to a lot of barbs from the BJP and the left. Listen in.
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी जिन राज्यों में खुद जीतती वहां पे पर्यवेक्षक बना देती है, ऑब्जर्वर बना देती है, जो जाते हैं 10-10 दिन 15-15 दिन लगाते हैं, उसके बाद मुख्यमंत्री तय होता है। लेकिन कहीं पे अगर 4 दिन बाद मुख्यमंत्री नहीं तय हुआ गैर भाजपाई सरकार में, तो वहाँ सवाल उठाते हैं। तो सवाल भारतीय जनता पार्टी उठा कैसे सकती है, और नैतिकता कैसे इस सवाल को उठाने की? जिनकी सरकार बनी है वो विधायक तय करेंगे, वो पार्टी तय करेगी कि उनका मुख्यमंत्री कौन होगा, और ये विषय भारतीय जनता पार्टी का है भी नहीं।
Kerala's situation is, quite strange and ridiculous now. Hundreds of discussions, jadas, protest marches, group dances, nothing is coming out. The government is not going to function smoothly. There will be many power centers. Whoever becomes chief minister, 3-4 power centers, and this government is going to hamper the development of Kerala and welfare measures taken by the LDF government.
BJP has been able to form its government in Bengal under the leadership of Suvendu Adhikari ji. Now Himanta Biswa Sarma ji's name has already been declared elected in Assam. And on the other hand, Keralam, where Congress party has full majority, it is yet not able to give one name for chief minister. This is called the Rahul Gandhi confusion model. I need confusion, INC model.
एक चीज मैं देखता हूँ, इस चुनाव तो हर चुनाव 2 महीने में 4 महीने में हो ही रहे हैं, लेकिन जब चुनावी चक्रवात पे चित होते हैं तो चुनावी चक्रवात में चित जो चंडाल चौकड़ी है उसका चॉकलेटी जो चकल्लस है वो शुरू हो जाता है। आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो सुशासन की और स्थायित्व की जो वैश्विक ब्रांड बनी हुई है उसका एक ही कारण है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सांस्कृतिक राष्ट्रवाद के प्रति प्रतिबद्धता और साथ ही साथ समावेशी सशक्तिकरण के प्रति जो है वो उनका संकल्प। लेकिन जो ये लोग हैं, ये जो है उनको अगर अंधे के हाथ बटेर भी लग जाता है तो उसको भी ये पकड़ नहीं पाते, उसको भी ये संभाल नहीं पाते।
The Prime Minister's comment is unwarranted because in Delhi, where the Prime Minister is staying, they decided the Chief Minister after 50 days. After the election, they took 50 days to announce the Delhi Chief Minister. He has to answer that. Now only 5 days are left. We have a democratic practice. Observers came here. They met all the MLAs individually and collectively. After that, they have submitted the report. The leaders were called to Delhi. Sri Rahul Gandhi and Congress President Kharge ji spoke to all of us. Now, decision is left to the Congress High Command.
For the Congress party, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest risk now is perception. What was projected as a historic comeback in Keralam is slowly turning into a public spectacle of indecision and factionalism. With that, I'm stepping into a quick break. News and updates continue right here on Times Now. Do stay with us.